Everybody, I'm Dr. Karen Makowski, aka Butterfly Karen. I'm also the leading investigator on any of my parapsychology or paranormal investigations. Welcome. So, welcome to 11D, the 11th dimension. I'm going to be reconnecting to and remeditating into the 11th dimension. I've pretty much been connected, I would say, well, what time was I really about 4:27 a.m. this morning. I mean, once I'm connected, that's pretty much it throughout the day. Downloads will come in. I'll just sort of gather the data throughout the day and stuff like that. But this evening, I'm just sort of going to be sort of reconnecting. I may put my mask on, I may not, because I feel like even though I like to sort of like zone everything out, I feel like because the downloads sort of flowing through, I just reel them off. So, you know, I only really use my mask just to sort of like refocus and sort of block anything external out, but it doesn't seem to be, it hasn't been a problem for the last few weeks, well, sort of last few videos I've been working on. I mean, obviously, if I really need to focus in on something or zone in on something, it's a bit different, but I'll see how I go. But 11 days, so let me just log the time and the date. So the date is the 22nd of March, 2024. Okay. 22nd, 24, and the time is 7:08 p.m. 7:08 p.m. And this is IIDR27, Intuitive Intelligence Data Report. IIDR27. Ooh la la. Thank God these are just sort of oral reports, so video reports, but so IIDR27, 11th dimension. Oh, it's probably going to be a good one. It could be a long one. I don't, because I'm sort of, you guys and girls are watching me work, and I'm going to grab everything I can until I know it's just sort of time to come out, but we'll see. Now, so, since I got back from the UK, I pretty much went to the UK on the 5th of March, obviously for my father's funeral. And I got back here on the 14th. Oh my God, I forgot why I hate flying. I hate flying. Not because it's a horrible way to travel, it's not. It's the shit you catch on the planes. I caught this horrible, disgusting, probably cold, on the plane heading to New York, and I just felt like dog crap since. I mean, it's still lingering, but I still feel a bit bunged up, and it's like, oh my God, I feel like I've got rid of it, and then I re-caught it. So very annoying. So we'll just let that flow through, but I do sound a bit bunged up. It was nice to sort of get home, you know, see the family and friends and best friend and all that beautiful stuff, but under not exactly great circumstances, but, you know, nevertheless, it was great to sort of meet I met my great nephews and my great niece for the first time. Like, you know, two of them are not even babies anymore, and it really sucks that I feel like I lost a lot of time, but, you know, sort of losing my father and, you know, going back for the funeral, it sort of puts everything into perspective. So for me, it's like a lot more effort needs to be made, because I don't want to, I know I've chosen my life here in the States, and, you know, obviously I love it here. This is where I've built my own life. It's just, I do miss them, but, you know, I can't sacrifice my whole life either. It's just, I will make more effort. You know, it's like we'll see. I'm very flexible, so, but, you know, I feel like the last sort of 10 years, I mean, I've been here in the States now going on 14 years. I absolutely love it. But it's been challenging, you know, for a long period of that. I felt really restricted. And obviously, I'm not going to go into that or why, but I was so restricted. But since I sort of got my freedom and everything, it's nice, but it's been a slow process to really exercise that freedom. So now I've got the ability to do that now. It's, you know, obviously, again, losing loved ones, it puts a lot of stuff into perspective, and you've got to really look at it like that. I mean, I had this sense of, you know, when I was sort of reevaluating my life as well. Like I'm sort of pondering. I'm looking at my father's coffin, and I'm pondering like, oh God, was he proud of me? Does he realize how far I've come? I mean, these are the questions, but I hope he was proud of me. I mean, it's weird because it's weird how you sort of analyze your life a little bit as well when something like this happens. But I mean, like I said, it was great to see my family and friends, but then I kept pondering like, I know I'm successful. I'm incredibly successful. I've achieved everything I've ever wanted to achieve and I've set out to do. I mean, am I financially successful yet? Well, no, not yet, because, it will come, but it's just timing. But am I healthy? I've got the world is my oyster. I have freedom. I live in a great country that is still free. And I really need it needs to stay like that because I can feel a shifting to England. And I'll tell you something right now about England. I don't know what the fuck happened to my country. It was weird. And it's nothing's happened to the country. It's a people problem. The people I don't know what happened to the British people, the English people, but I don't see any backbones anymore. Like everybody was complaining. All I heard was complain, not like my friends and family, but just externally, like just listening and watching and observing everybody whinging about the country and how it's going downhill, and yet nobody's fighting to change it. So I can't. It's the same here. I'm not going to listen to people pissing and whinging about freely giving up the freedoms and things like this. And oh God, what we're losing, and oh my God, it's just no. If you're not going to do anything about it, then tough. That's what happens, right? You're going to become like England, which is kind of sucks because it's weird to sort of go home after all these years. I mean, I went back in 2016, and I could sort of see the shift. Like, oh, it felt weird, but this time it's like, wow. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my country, I really do. Of course I do. But I don't know what the hell happened to it. Well, that's called leadership. That's what happens when you allow the worst types of people to run your country. So what do you expect? But again, it's not them. You can't blame them. It's the people. If you're not going to do anything about it, pissing and whinging ain't going to change anything. So that just felt weird. Now, I do want to just put out... I want to really sort of put out my sort of thoughts on Princess Catherine today. It was really because today she actually came out and I'll tell you what, right? There is something effing wrong with humanity. It's weird. I can't. Look, I'm in the people business. I love people, but my God, I can't stand humanity right now. I can't be feeling and thinking like that. Because I can't help people when I'm in that horrible energy of just watching shitty people everywhere, every single where, just acting like shitty human beings, and there's no reason for it. Just selfish, disgusting behaviour. The human disgusting behaviour is off the charts, right? I don't care. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm tired of it. But nobody cares. Everybody's too selfish. Stick with sort of logic at this point, but no, everybody went. I mean, some of the shit I've seen on YouTube over the last, I would say, good month about some of the stuff people are saying. Oh God, seriously, look, I understand different species, and as a parapsychologist, I have to be open to everything, but like idiotic people like, oh, they've killed Kate. This is just some of the crap I've been hearing. They've killed Kate and now they're replacing her with a reptilian. Well, first of all, I'm going to need absolute evidence and proof on that, right? Obviously, because I'm a scientist, right? But this is some of the theories, and absolute extreme conspiracy theories that have been, even with the mainstream media, even celebrities. Seriously, this is why I can't stand celebrities. I cannot stand the vile creatures that they are. Milking and the shit they've been saying about Princess Catherine, how disgusting, absolute whoring, disgraceful, clout hungry, like they haven't got enough as it is, but they had to use her name. They are so fake, it's disgusting. I can't stand celebrities. And unfortunately, the great ones are well and truly overshadowed by the scum, the rest of them, the vile demons. So, the demon shaggers, those, right? Absolutely disgusting. So, but some of the stuff they've been coming out with, like, I'm not even surprised at all. It's just so sad that some of us who, like, oh, I hope she's really okay. And, she had abdominal surgery. But it turns out she ended up with cancer. So this poor lady's healing, right? So she's just trying to heal privately. And the world's gone like, oh my God, Kate's being murdered. They're killing kitten. On all kinds of weird stuff, weird shit people have been saying about the whole situation. And then obviously you've got like King Charles, he's been diagnosed with cancer. And it's really, really sad, right? That this is happening. And, she was so dignified that she just wanted to just sort of heal privately in like with a family like most people would. But no, they would not. No, it was weird. But to see her come out today and tell the world why she's taken so long to heal. Oh my God, it was just so emotional. Like if any human being that has a tiny ounce of compassion would have felt incredibly bad. Now, if you're an empath or a super empath, like people like me, that's really like, oh God, that explains everything. Obviously, I felt like something was wrong. Obviously, a lot more than just, recovering from surgery. So obviously she's got to heal before she can even start chemotherapy. It's really sad that, I just hope that she can sort of heal now and be left alone to heal, and just get through it the best she can. I mean, that woman's really strong anyway, so she's a tough one. But she's got a great support network. And I wish her all the best. I really, really do, But people have got to back right off because they've just completely gone well and truly deranged. Look, I'm not normal. I don't claim to be normal, right? But these crazy deranged people today are making me feel and look normal. And that's not normal. So I don't like that. But this weird world we live in today where everybody is just so slanderous. There's shit that comes out of people's mouths so rampantly, and it just flows, doesn't it? They don't even take accountability for what they say, like the lies people say about people, slander, everything, defamation. Nobody's even conducting their own. It's weird. Back in the day, if you were going to slander somebody, it's usually because you probably had something to back it up with, right? Oh God, no, not these days. Deranged. People are deranged. It's really crazy. So it's crazy behavior. It's not normal at all. And it's not healthy. It is incredibly crazy. But that is literally absolute brainwashing and mind controlling. So prevalent in society, and it's right there in your face. Just hit onto social media, you'll see the deranged people. They're all over the place. It's weird. I'm tapped in. Obviously, I've done on the pre-prep anyway. I went for a major. I was laid in the sun today, and I had to really. I was really got with the elements, and I really zoned into sort of 11D, and I was feeling everything sort of coming in, and oh man, there's so much. It's just it's hard to explain it's so hard. It's obvious. You can see what's going on in society and what's wrong, but it's so hard to explain how bad it is. I mean, it's really that bad. It's not getting any better. And I don't really know where we feel like we're going as a species. I don't know where we think we're heading with this constant deranged mentality so prevalent in society right now. Like, it's not just like cases of people anymore. It's like the majority. There's something wrong. I don't even know how you can fix it, because I personally feel, in my own opinion, right, it's all been created that way anyway. Again, you need the cures to get ready for the conditions created. So that's my opinion on that. Yeah, we've lost it, I think, in that way. I don't know how. I mean, well, we can always, again, I always say I do have a little bit of faith in humanity, but it is deteriorating daily, and it's really sad, because I don't know how people like me are supposed to help, but raise the vibrational frequency, or raise the, really help with the collective. I feel like we're really going there. I don't know how we help our fellow human brothers and sisters. Just like, there's only so much we can do to help the collective to raise the vibrational frequency, but it's weird. It's I mean, it's not like we're going to give up. It's just, it's because there's so many. It's because it's such a majority. It's scary, really. Oh, I don't ever want to go to that dark area of, not teenagers and shit like that. Just the crime rates and murder rates amongst teenagers and everything. It tells you everything you need to know. That's how disturbed. That's what happens when you mind control and brainwash people, brainwash generations to become, sociopaths. There's no, you can't, what more can you expect? But a lot of that is to do with the entertainment industry and the music industry. It's evil, it's disgusting, and everybody's looking up to these evil, disgusting, foul creatures called celebrities. That's what's wrong. That's what's making them worse. So, but it's really sad. So anyway, forget them, irrelevant creatures, but in human form. I do wish Princess Catherine, I wish her all the best. I really do. And, obviously I'm going to put some prayers out for her. But I think she just needs to be left in peace now, with her and the family, just to sort of like heal. Everybody has a right to do that. But it's just sad. And I think it's just because of everything that's been going on. And, death is, like, obviously death is a part of life. And when you sort of go through these, when your family you start losing people on life is like that, but you can lose people on a regular basis. It's like, oh God, it's like never ends. Oh God, not another one. It's like that. And it's really sad. But it's like, it can be the perfect sort of remedy too, to change. Like, okay, do things differently, change for the better, interact more, be more, like involved in each other's lives and care more, come together more, you know what I mean? But that's not how people are taking it. They're like, it's like they deal with it, then it's like they separate. It's weird. I don't know where this energy is coming from, but it's clearly coming from somewhere. It's like it feels like it, and this is the collective anyway. But it feels like, what is the point? Well, there is a point, because life's amazing. It's just a people problem. I say this all the time. But yeah, just looking at society is in a horrible state. It's disgusting. Getting any better either. So we're pretty much doomed, like, in that respect. But and that was weird. And I feel like this is where I've got to go with this, because this morning, what was that one? Let me make my little notes. Oh. Okay, so this yesterday, I was hearing, like, I knew I was going somewhere. I was already slowly, like, sort of tapping in. I knew I was going to have downloads coming in and everything, but all day is it Howard Jones? I think it's Howard Jones, correct me, but like, I'd like to get to know you well. I'd like to get to know you well. I kept hearing that song all day. I'm like, okay, well, it's normal to have a song just come into your head and go, oh my God, I haven't heard that for ages. Great. Woohoo. And I love all that sort of music anyway. But this did not stop. I was like, okay. So it felt like I'm going to come back to my counterpart. I'm going to discuss that in a moment because it's relevant and it's playing a big role right now. But all I could feel was, is my counterpart like really listening to that song, or is that there's something going on there? But I kept hearing this song all day and all night, and I'm like, okay, okay, enough already. Because I mean, I love this song. I love all of that music, but don't play it to death because I probably won't want to hear it anymore. But I do really like it. And then, like I say, that was going on. That was yesterday. It would not stop. It was like, so there's something to go. I don't know if that is going to resonate with anybody, but if you've been hearing that song, but you know what? Even when I was listening to the song, I'm thinking like, well, I'd like to get to know you well. And then when you listen to the lyrics and you think, who wants to get to know anybody well these days? Again, let's go back to that disgusting vile. It's disgusting, right? The level of whoring and everything that's wrong in society today, and it's just disgusting, right? It's no other. I don't have a good word for it, right? But that is enough to make anybody feel like, I don't want to get to know anybody well. Not in this day and age. No, not until this. No, not in this rampant whoring, raging society. Not for me. But that's what I was like. By the end of the day, I'm like, God, that song it's a great song, but I'm not quite sure I'd want to get to know anybody that well. Anyway, so, but then 4:27 a.m. Oh, I was in the midst of this sort of visual, and and this is why I'm like, I basically was telling myself, I don't want to date anybody in this day and age. But anyway, this is why the song was definitely coming from me, but I feel like it could resonate to the collective too. But I was starting to date in this visual. I was starting to date, so it could have been slightly in the future. But I was dating this guy, and I was sort of getting intimate. Like, you're kind of dating, you're getting to know them, getting to know them well. And he kept saying to me, this is what's wrong with society. This is it, right? He asked me, well, actually, he didn't ask me. He told me, he said, whatever you do not listen to anything my friends or anybody that, anybody says about me. And I'm like, what now? And he went, just trust me. I'm like, no, you ain't that, first of all. And secondly, what? And he said, my friends are going to lie to you, and they'll start saying all sorts of stuff to you about me, and they'll lie about me and everything. It's like, okay. So I remember looking at him thinking, why on earth would you associate yourself? Well, they're not friends anyway, but why would you care? Why would they lie? And why on earth would you associate with people, with so-called friends that actively lie about you, or say stuff to people, like to people or who you're dating and stuff like that? Why would you be so worried about that? And why? And it was weird. So he kept saying, they always lie about me. They always lie. They always discuss me, and they always lie about me. So anyway, I was, kept saying to him, I was obviously like saying to, because I knew there was something in there, like, okay, there's a weird message in here. And then I remember him saying to me, well, it's hard. So I felt like I was sort of seeing possibly just not so long in the future, but when I sort of start dating somebody, and I could sort of see who it was and everything, I'm like, and then he kept saying, but you don't understand what it's like for me, because I have to be around all these people. I have all these people. you don't have to worry about this because you don't have hardly anybody in your life. And I'm like, yeah. And you wonder why. because of the crap you're talking about is the reason I get rid of them. Right? So, and we were sort of having this discussion about, I got rid of those people because I have a lot of self-worth and I respect myself too much to let so-called frenemies, right? They're not friends, lie about me and discuss me. To like, that's kind of cock blocking, and that's kind of like vagina blocking and stuff like that, depending on who, you know, what your type is. But your friends are only doing that if they're jealous of you, if they're trying to vagina or cock block, or no, they hate you. If your own friends lie about you and have to discuss you behind your back and slag you off to anybody that will listen to them, or to somebody you're dating, somebody new you're dating, you've got people in your friends, they're not your friends, they hate you. And in this conversation I was having, he was saying, well, you don't know what it's like. I can't get rid of these people as easy as you can get rid of yours. I went, yeah, it's really easy. Get rid of them. Tell them to go and toss right off. Like, I can't do that. These people, I have to be around these people. I can't, you know, it all comes down to the business and everything. I'm like, well, it's on you then, isn't it? You know, you don't get to complain. But there's no way I'm going to associate with your disgraceful, disgusting frenemies, right, in any shape or form to appease you. I'm not going to sit there and allow them to insult you, slander you, disrespect you. They have got zero respect. I'm not going to be able to allow them to disrespect you like that. And this person just could not understand how simple it was to just, well, you get rid of them. They will destroy your life. They will destroy your livelihood. They will destroy anything good that comes into this person's life. And, you know, it was really sad because I remember coming out this visual and trying to explain, like, these, if you truly feel like you need these people in your life, you are screwed, right? You've got no future. There's no way. You cannot have a half decent, you're not going to be able to have you're not going to be successful. I mean, you're successful now, but no. These people will be your downfall. They will destroy everything you've built. It's weird because, like, I usually get loved ones coming to me anyway and showing me certain types of people that this happens to all the time. But this was really sad because I felt like, well, what's going to happen is, now I've already sort of foreseen what's going to happen when this man comes to my door and wants to. I'm not going to want anything to do with him because I don't want anything to do with his peoples, any of them. His friends are worse than his acquaintances, and his acquaintances are bad. But they're acquaintances, you can keep them at a distance, right? You don't have to even have to communicate with them, and you really don't need, unless you need to. But his friends are worse than his acquaintances, so what on earth, right? They're not friends anyway. But there's absolutely no way I would ever want to be associated with any of his peoples. So there's absolutely no way I could get into any sort of relationship or even start dating this man. Really sad, but that's pretty much because for some strange reason, society is like that. It's full of it. I talk about these in-groups all the time and how incredibly dysfunctional and codependent they are. Like, there's a weird codependency with people's in-groups and friendships groups. They are so fake, it's not even funny. But everybody's like, we need them. Can't be alone. So it's weird. But it was weird because it made me feel like there was something wrong with me because I chose self-worth, right? And I chose I choose quality over quantity. And it almost felt like dude, don't even try and gaslight someone like me with this weird shit, because you're the problem. You're the enabler. You can cut these people off in a hot second. Oh, what they're going to do? Destroy your life. They're going to destroy your life anyway. That's how bad it was. But for some reason, he could see, but he just couldn't. It's the weirdest thing. It's really, really sad. But then when I sort of came out of this visual, I could hear the biblical scriptures of Timothy, like chapter 3, verses 1 to 5. And so I thought, well, I went straight to the Old Testament first, and it was worded, but it was worded a little bit differently. So I went, straight to sort of like King James's, like, New Testament. But this is pretty much, it was weird. I mean, it was weird how I came up the visual and we went there, and that came up, and I'm like, okay, well, let me read it. So Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 to 5. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. 2, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. 3, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Despisers of those that are good. Well, that's just jealousy and insecurity right there, isn't it? But yeah. 4, traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. 5, having form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, for such turn away. I was like, okay, well, that's perfect, because pretty much how I just sort of started, the feeling of society and what's wrong with it is right there. That's what's wrong with society. That's disgraceful human behavior. So I'm a spiritual minister, so I don't really follow, my life doesn't revolve around the biblical scriptures or the Bible. I mean, I obviously I love some of the biblical scriptures, but to be a good human being, I don't like these fake God-loving Christians at all. They make me feel sick, right? They're everywhere now, and they're part of the problem. But they're just like that. Chapter 3, verses 1 to 5. The end times, you can feel it, like, I mean, the problem, here it comes. Now, here's the problem. Here's what's, so you've got these people, they're all clout hungry. They don't know how to measure success. They measure success based on finances and material shit. That's irrelevant. Like I said, I'm already successful. I've achieved everything I've set out to achieve. I don't have the financial success. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell anybody anyway, and you wouldn't even know, because I'm humble. And I'm not a pretentious, fake, disgusting human being that needs to shove it in people's noses either. And I don't need to show off. But that's what most people are programmed to do these days. So that's what's programmed into people. You're only successful if you're a millionaire. I don't think so. And some of the most amazing, successful people I know live paycheck to paycheck, but they are more successful than some of these disgusting celebrities that did nothing but sleep their way into it. Clout hungry, whoring. Now, so some of these people, a lot of people today are going towards that sort of, we have to, oh my God, our fake gods are on this stage. I don't think so. But have at it. So, but then you come across these sort of influencers, these so-called influencers. They're not influencers to me at all. I don't class anybody on social media as an influencer in any shape or form. Most of them are absolutely disgusting human beings. I'm not influenced by people like that. The clout hungry, whoring, disgusting human beings, and they will sell their souls, and they will sell anything for a dime, right? Because they're soulless. They're They are not successful in my eyes. I don't see them as successful at all. I can't even watch them. I'm repulsed by some of, again, it's their energies. You can hide behind makeup. You can hide behind everything. You can hide behind your fake facades, but your energy can't lie. You can lie with that all day long. You can hide everything that you try and be, but your energy. So I'm not listening to what comes out of people's mouths. I'm reading their energy. So, and it's disgusting but most people can't see that. They just go, oh, no, new influencer. There's a new influencer every day selling the souls. Then they go to these parties, these so-called parties where they get to meet their so-called disgusting celebrity idols, and then they have to do the most disgraceful things. Then they've got to sort of claim, well, depending on who they're worshipping anyway, but they'll go to these sort of really evil, well, it's just disgusting. They're disgusting parties. But some of the stuff they have to do to get clout, brands, money, fame, fortune, all that disgusting shit, like fake shit, irrelevant shit. That's not end. You know, getting involved in gangbangs and orgies, right? Associating, having orgies with certain celebrities, right, at a party, and then all of a sudden overnight you're wealthy and you're successful. You're not successful. You did nothing for that. You just hoard it. You hoard for it. That's all. So, but there's a price they pay for that. Here we go. It's like a never-ending message. It's like it's the same shit, same types of people, but they're destroying people. But you're gonna have to take responsibility for that sort of, you know, the actions you participate in, or because you're hungry for fame and fortune. That's not going to save you in any shape or form. You'll get your delusional, fake success for a few minutes, maybe enough to put some trust funds together for your kids, right, for your futures, but you don't really earn anything. Not truly. It's weird. But but the weird thing is, I keep wanting to tap into the collective energy, and then I tap into the energies of people like this, and there's so many. They're everywhere. The really great, amazing people are out there. Believe me, they really are. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these twisted people, these conditioned, delusional, mind-controlled people, brainwashed. And whenever I try and tap into their energy, you know, to sort of see what can come, what the future looks like, I don't see anything. Like with other people, I can sort of tap into their frequencies, even on a collective scale, but I can tap into frequencies and kind of get an idea of like, oh, you've got a wonderful future coming. I can feel it and everything, and I can sort of get a visual of it. I mean, I don't like to sort of, I'm not like a fortune teller or anything like that. It's just energy. Again, it's reading energy, and you can sort of see, you can feel it, and it's weird. I can't explain it, but it's like it's looking into it's almost seeing that person's destiny, especially when they're on path. It's like, oh, God, that's amazing. This person's right on path. They're going right where they need to be. But then I can sort of get a visual of what's sort of coming, and it's amazing, and you know, so there is always, so when I connect to people, I can see that. But then when it comes to these people, there's nothing. I don't see beyond. And it's all of them. It's not like just tap into one. And it's like, if I tap into multiples, or There's nothing. Even these these really manufactured fake, so these they're not even high end. They're no. Ugh, no, because they're all soulless. That's the problem. And once you've sold your soul, it ain't coming. You're not getting it back. And maybe that's why I can't see anything, because usually when I can tap into frequencies and if I have to see what's kind of like attached to them, like whether it's something they've conjured up or the real dense energy, you can't see beyond that because there's nothing beyond it. There's nothing in the future. You know, I can't even like sort of jump a timeline. I can't even sort of see. I can't even look at their timelines, and that's what it is. It's like seeing people's timelines. Like, oh, you're on the right timeline. Stay on that frequency. That's what it's like. And but then I come across low vibes. It's like, oh, and you know, it's really sad as well. And this isn't new for me because I feel like I've been sort of been aware of this since I was a kid anyway. But I don't tell people like I mean, I may do the odd video here and there in the hope that a person changes their ways to get, because usually again, if I can see, like, let's say for example, on the downside of like the successful side of that is fantastic. The dark side of that is if there is somebody that has to sort of see their death and it's like, oh God. But again, I don't like dates, but if I don't get a date, that's good because that person can get back on path and change it just means they've come off the path somewhere and it's going to change their death date because death's a part of life. It's inevitable, but we all have a death date. So it's like, oh, no way. Now, I will never go up to that person or persons and go, oh, you're going to die. I've seen you. No. I would never do that. That will create fear, and it's that's not a very nice thing to do anyway. And that's way too much power. And you don't ever, you can hurt you can hurt someone's mind doing that. But that doesn't mean I won't put a video together and put it out there and hope, like, if the loved one's already connected to me to connect to that frequency anyway, they're going to do everything they can on their end to connect to their loved one to make them watch the video. So I just leave that to sort of like the universe at that point because the universe is a powerful thing. And energy doesn't die, it just moves to a different dimension. I feel like I'm tapped into so many, well, it is 11D, a very high dimension, but it's like there's so many loved ones, so worried. That's what it is. They're so worried about the loved ones here on the 3D. Like they're not going to be able, they can't save them. And they want them to be saved now. Like, they have to change though. So when I sort of have to see someone's like death or, you know, the change in the destiny, but looking at other people's, I can look at, I can sort of tap into somebody else's and there's nothing. And that tells me those are the sort of people that are well and truly sold their souls because there's nothing to see. There's no soul left to see anything to connect with. Got to stop selling your souls, people. No. It's like, do you know what it's like? These this is what this is. This is what's coming through. It's like people go to these soul selling parties. I mean, what the actual? It's like they go in with a soul and come out with none. It's like they've, I mean, okay, they haven't usually given it up straight away, but it's like they go in, even if it's the first time, it doesn't even matter. But it's like the first time they go, it's like they're selling this. I can't get my head around that. Soul selling parties. I mean, is this what they're calling this sort of shit? Is this a trend? I can't stand trends. in any shape or form. I can't stand trends. Wow, I feel like a lot of people feel like they're so tired of it. They're so, I can't stand this. I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand watching this. I can't stand dealing with this. I feel like I'm carrying the weight of the collective's energies of the tiresome of it. And that's kind of what happens when you're an empath anyway. You don't just carry it, you feel it, but it's not like, I mean, carrying is probably the wrong word, but you feel like you carry the weight of the world sometimes. But that's how I feel. Like I feel like too many people feel it like this, like, and it's so annoying, and they're frustrated and angry and sad. I mean, and that's the good side of the collective, like the good, decent human beings that are still out there. But then you got all of these creatures. The creatures are not even like, the moment you sell your soul, you're not really human. I don't think they understand this. I don't think they understand how important your soul is anyway. I've said this before. You have to be asking yourself the one simple question is, why on earth would anybody want to buy your soul? There was nothing in it. There was nothing there, and there was nothing weird. Why on earth would people go, well, you gotta sell your soul? Why? Nobody asks why, because they're so seduced, but it's like, why do I feel like we're going to celebrity parties, soul selling celebrity parties, and it's all debaucherous. It's all like, just like gangbangs and all. That's what I mean. Once upon a time, there was a taboo, a spicy, ooh, we could, we could get together and go and do something very taboo, that sort of thing. There's none of that. These days, when you're sort of going towards these sort of parties and stuff like that, it's called energy harvesting. And it's like, they're not even like gangbanging sessions anymore and orgies. They're like sex magic rituals. So that sex magic rituals are literally the definition of energy harvesting. That's what people don't understand. So, and I feel like maybe that's why I had to go to this really sort of crude, sexually messed up area, is because I don't know, people don't understand the dangers of this. Like, again, once upon a time, there was a taboo fun. Like, oh, this will spice things up. These days, it's become like unhealthy and dangerous. Well, obviously, apart from like sexually transmitted diseases and shit like that, but nobody really cares about that sort of stuff, obviously, do they? But no, I think it feels like it's gone beyond. I just feel like it's gone beyond the days of the taboo, and now it's become dangerous, like energetically dangerous. It's energy harvesting. It's just sex magic. It's just ritualistic shit. But nobody realizes this is happening because they're all distracted, obviously. It's just it's just sex, energy harvesting. It's just a form of it. But it feels like there's a lot of, and it's like everybody's getting involved, and it's like the people are getting younger. Like, I mean, when you think about the 60s, right? Sexual revolution, obviously, right? This isn't like that. This is more sinister. this feels, again, it's like what could have been pleasurable for a married couple or a strong couple to experiment and step outside and do something taboo, or try something out, like with other people, and try the swinging sort of scene. That was probably once upon a time quite innocent, and oh, I can't believe we did that sort of thing, right? And oh my god, but look, we're stronger together. I mean, that's anything to do with external and third parties and external. Your relationship's doomed the moment you sort of try it anyway. I don't know any relationship that's tried all of that and survived. They might still be together for years, but they end up, no, I've never seen a successful partnership or marriage or relationship last anything to do with like third party and stuff like that, external. It always seems fun at the time, that's what I'm saying, but there's always a price you'll pay for it. But again, a lot of couples do try that because they want to sort of spice that thing, and it's kind of a sexual, it's just something that, and that's perfectly normal, that's okay. It's just weird that it's gone from that to something very sinister about it, and the more people sort of venture out into, okay, I want to try this again, and maybe we'll go to this sort of place, but then you only have to cross paths with the wrong people that are going to use your sexual energy in that way for completely different reasons. And then again, I feel like a lot of people are just, it's these influencers, it's these fucking wannabes of everything, just rich fame hungry wannabes, and they'll do anything and sell anything for it, but they end up at these sort of soul selling parties. These soul selling parties are connected to this sex energy harvesting, sex ritual, sex magic. It's a form of witchcraft. All of this is just a form of witchcraft. This is just witchcraft, all of it. But it's just wrapped up in a big box with a ribbon of sex. This makes me sound like a prude, and I'm not even a prude. I mean, yeah, I practice celibacy because, like I say, you kind of grow up, or you change, you evolve, right? I mean, you'll try things and you'll sample things. Of course, that's what it's like. But you don't stay in this forever, because there's nothing but, this is a soulless life anyway. I mean, there's nothing good that comes unless you want AIDS or all of the worst types of sexually transmitted diseases, right? There's nothing really good that comes from exchanging these sexual energies for long periods of time unprotected, because there's no way these people that are involved in this constantly protect themselves at all. So I mean, look at the state of the statistics right now of VD and all that kind of crap. It's through the roof. I believe, if I'm right, and I heard something about syphilis being on the rise. I mean, what does that tell you, really? So, but again, it makes me sound like a bit of a prude, and I'm not. I feel like I'm concerned for because it's gone to the extreme. It's gone beyond how, that whole, oh, I want to get away from this disgusting energy. I don't like it. Because it's taken to, because there's witchcraft involved, it's taken me to a dark energy, and it's seducing. The younger generation today are so screwed up. They're so seduced by it, and it's almost like they feel like they've invented it. They haven't, but they're made to feel like, this is your generation. No. Well, we know porn is it's out of control anyway, obviously. I'd be intrigued to know if that's a thing, soul selling parties, like if that's a term used as well amongst sort of gatherings. And I don't even want to visualize this shit. Like, I feel like I've got to visualize it to describe it, and I do not want to. Because it's disgusting. But you don't need... Just use your imagination for that. God, I used to have this fascination. I don't know why. I used to have this weird fascination of going to a masquerade ball, right? Just to sort of see people being sexually free, right? That was years ago. And it was always like, I'd love to just go and sort of see it, because there's like movies that have really glorified it, and it makes you sort of, and that's when I used to say to my ex-husband all the time, yeah, we should go to a masquerade ball. And I think what ruined it for me and it was always just a fantasy. And that's the thing about fantasy and reality. You can go to a swinger, you can go to a lifestyle resort and all that kind of stuff, and you'll see the reality. But then people have lost sight of the reality. They truly believe the fantasy is the reality, and it's not. That's upside down. And that's what's damaging. But I always like the idea of it just being a fantasy, and that's perfectly healthy and normal. But then when I got talking to certain types of people over time, and they actually participated in things like this and went to parties like this, they literally destroyed that fantasy for me, because then it made it real, and then it made it gross, and then it made it tacky. And that's all this is. It's just tacky, and and it takes you soon lose the, I don't speak for all, but I just literally lost the whole, the taboo fantasy of, it's done. Like, oh no, I'm good. So as we sort of over time, I'd say over the last 10 years, watching how much porn is so addictive, I don't even know a guy that's not addicted to some sort of level of porn. So you can see how bad it's, so that the sex has gone completely wild, and it's not like, there's nothing sacred about it. There's nothing intimate about it. And that's the weird thing. That's why I was feeling like this dream it was like a visual of what could be, but it was like a warning, like, do I really want to get involved with a guy that has to be around those sort of people? I'm probably into all this kind of crap anyway. Probably not. So there's always like and that could be for the collective too. And that's why I feel like, oh no, I just don't want to. I'd rather be alone. Because it's disgusting. There's no trust. There's no foundations to build with people today. Like, you can't even build a healthy foundation, in a relationship today, because there's too much choice and there's too much sex available and nobody wants to fix any problems or anything. They just want to, oh, go and see my side chick. I'm going, oh yeah, me girlfriend's doing me a din. Side chick, yeah, that shit. Always that. I'm not dumb enough to trust a man in this day and age when it comes to other women. No chance in hell. So no. So I guess for me, I'm just not open to. I'd rather just continue the relationship with me. So thank God I got away from that energy that I didn't like it. I had to pull away from it. So let's zone in again, see what else is coming through. But your life choices and every area of your life, that is absolutely your choice. That's your free will and everything. I'm not, can't repeat that. I'm trying to get away from this energy, but I keep feeling like they're pulling me back to it to discuss the implications of it and the results of it. So when I keep going back to that sort of soul selling parties and these like sex, just, oh God, just orgies, really, sex magic orgies, I keep hearing the term soulless bastards. Okay. Which it's like the children. It's like children that are born out of this. That's what that tells me. Like, well, they're fatherless, aren't they? Like, they're not going to know who the fathers are. Like, the women who have children in this area, like, from this, they're not going to know unless they do DNA tests and stuff like that. And it's like soulless bastards. It's like, to me, it's like fatherless, like children with no fathers. And, okay, you can go home and go, oh, we're not. So, another man's going to take on that role, but it's like there's far too many soulless children being born. Like, that was weird because it makes me feel like, every child, everybody's born with a soul, but I don't know if we're going to be soulless. Again, it's that soul selling part. There's something wrong. Like, are they giving up the soul of their children when the children are born? Oh God. Oh God, seriously. Is this the price to pay for fame and fortune? Well, that won't be unusual. That's centuries and all that, but it feels prevalent, like it's. Obviously, it feels like there's more of it in this sort of century because there's more people on the earth than there was like in the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 centuries and stuff like that. This isn't something new. There's the old saying, I said this before, there's an old saying, there is an old saying, I can't remember who said it, but children always pay for the sins of their fathers. Not these days. Children pay for the sins of their mothers as well as their fathers. They pay for the sins of their parents, which is really sad. Define a sin there. Again, I'm not judging, I'm just sort of going on the energy I'm pulling on, but when you look at the state of society and how they've got rid of the family units and, like they've completely, there's no progression in society at all. I'm not quite sure who's delusionally believing that because family units are broken down. Children are being raised without parents, without fathers. All children need a father. All children need a mother. It's like the lifestyles are more important than children. They'll have the children. Oh God, this is disgusting. It's like parents are having children today as it like they would buy an accessory. Like, oh, we need to have kids, accessory. Why not? That's like the decline of pregnancy. I mean, there is a huge decline in births anyway, but it feels like they want to have the kids, but they don't want to raise them. Like, they're too busy being fake famous and stuff to raise the children. It's weird. It's backwards. That's what's wrong today. The mentalities of people and the behaviours backwards. That's not progressive, is it? You're going backwards. Everything's backwards. Everything's weird. Nothing's going forward properly. Nothing's good coming from society, is it? Now, if you want to go with the biblical, you want to stick with the Bible, if you want to go there, these are the end times. You can feel it. This is it. Like they say before the Antichrist makes his appearance. Well, I don't believe there's just one of those at all. I personally think it's already here. But it's the implementation of steps to completely destroy the fundamentals of a functioning society. They can't have that. It's not going to work, is it? They've got everybody right down to this is what we know is coming. Read the book of Revelations. This is the Antichrist will prepare us all for. This is when you know the end days are coming in that way, because this is what we're going to be. This will be rampant. It will be everything that's wrong with the world. But it's a people problem. It's nothing's wrong with the world. I hate using that term. Murders, everything that's wrong right now. It's like multiplied. But that's what it says. It will be so bad. And then it's the end time. Like, death and rebirth, isn't it? Now, who's to say the death of, could it be literal? Or could it be just a rechange, like a complete switch in mindsets? Because that's all it takes. Changing the mindsets will adjust and change the behaviours. But in this society today, and the way we live, with technology and everything, and these evil devil's playgrounds on social media and stuff like this, and everything, that's no way. There's nothing good that can come from this. I've been seduced by it. I've been seduced by the social media, and it's really hard to sort of get away from it, because you don't realise how you become dependent on it. But the moment you pull yourself away from one of those devil playgrounds and you kind of get rid of it all, it's freeing. But it's like it's like an addiction. Like, do I open another one? No, I do not. Right? So, but thank God I'm stubborn. So, some people do. Some people use it for business, though. Like I'm not talking about all people. I'm just talking about the problem of society. I'm not talking about everybody. Because some people need it. I mean, some of the most actual famous people, but actual successful people have worked and grind to the bones and pushed and done everything, didn't sell their souls, had to work hard to get successful. Those are the people I admire. But there's not enough of them. And they do use platforms, obviously. They do use social media platforms for their... Of course they do. That's how they reach their fans and everything. But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the famous... Oh, God. Soul selling parties. What is that? But the thing about... You see, bloodlines are important anyway. Everybody should know their own... Everybody should... We all have a bloodline. We're connected to a bloodline. But everybody should know what bloodline they're connected to. So if you've got if you've got generations now of like children who've been born out, have been conceived from sort of that sort of stuff, they're not going to know, if they don't even know who their real father is, they're not going to know who their true identity is, like who. It plays a huge role, plays a part. It's not the be all and all, but be all and end all, but it's important to know where you come from. It's important to know your bloodline. It's incredible how they knock. It's true though. Like these sort of people, they will literally like they think somebody that doesn't get involved in it or doesn't entertain it or don't even like it, they all think that person's the problem or those peoples are the problem. We're not the problems. Joking, right? But the problem with these people is they love it, they need the sex, they need whatever it gives them, they need it for whatever it feeds, whatever is left of their souls, but there's no self-love there. No way. You see, when you really love yourself, you protect yourself. And you sure as hell just don't just share yourself with anybody. That's the thing about real self-love. Because the idea, and that can grow, you can develop that. I mean, that's part of your self-development anyway. Self-love development and all that beautiful stuff. But that's like a journey, part of a healing journey. But when you're stuck in this energy and you think, oh my God, you're just so boring. This is the mentality of these idiots, right? Oh my God, you're just so boring. You don't even party, you don't do anything. You should do this. It's like get one life. Yeah, but I'm not going to live my life, my one life like you do, because you can't stand yourselves. You hate yourselves. You're all feeding off each other to fill something that's not there. And there's no amount of sex, whether you're getting it from one person or multiple people, there's nothing fulfilling or soul fulfilling you cannot fix with sex. That's just a little band-aid, right? But there's no, you can't, because then you wake up and you resent yourself and you hate yourself more because you feel disgusted and you feel disgusted. Oh my God, I just did that last night. Oh my God, I don't even know how many I did it with. And men do that. I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking about men. It's just both, right? Oh my God, I don't know who I did it with, how many did it. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. So you're feeling disgusted, but you can't not do it again because of your peer pressure and your in groups. So, and what you get out of it. That's why, it's kind of why things like OnlyFans pages and like Pornhub and stuff, they've just kind of exploded because those are the avenues now where you can do all of this anyway, but now you can make money with it. And again, there's no self-love in any of that. And I can guarantee you right now, you might think a man or a woman that, you're involved, you're doing this, let's just say you're doing porn or anything like that, any of this, it doesn't really matter. Like, oh my God, this person loves me. No. Because the fact that they were involved in it too, they don't love themselves either. So how can they love you? You cannot love somebody truly unless you love yourself first. You can love your kids. But so when you don't have self-love, you don't care about sharing your body around. You don't protect yourself properly. You don't protect your energy. You don't protect your spirit. You don't protect your soul or anything. So you just throw it around. That's because there's no self-respect and self-love or anything. That's perfectly normal. That's why people that's why they do what that is. It's like, well, it'll make me feel better in the moment, but tomorrow I still feel 10 times shit. And then depending if drugs are involved and stuff like that, you can just sort of hide the emotions through your addictions. But this feels like anything like this. It just feels like a I don't know. They're just a vicious cycle. That's all. So it is a vicious cycle because you want to love yourselves. You want to get away from it. You want to heal your problems. You want to you want to stop doing it. You want to work on your self-love and everything, but you can't because you're too into it and you hate yourself too much. But you can't stop because you're made to believe, you're programmed to think you need that. Like this is where you get your validation in life. This is what validates your life is who you're involved with and what you're involved with and who you hang with and shit like that. Again, go back to that, how you class success, how you measure your level of success. This way, it's how rich you are. That's not real success. And then, but the problem with money is you're always going to want more. Like you'll never have enough. You're always going to want more because you got to live a lifestyle the more you get in, the more you earn, and the more you're getting involved in. Now you need more and more because you got to live that lifestyle, and it's an expensive lifestyle, and it's fake and everything. But you want to go even higher. Oh my God, I want to instead of being a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire. Well, I want to be a part of the billionaire club. Well, you're going to have to be able to fund that billionaire lifestyle. And it gets even more disgusting amongst those people because they're all bored. Well, it's still millionaires too. There's always this going on. There's always seedy. There's always a seedy side. But they're all flashy. They're all showing off what they've got. So they've all got to compete with each other. None of them love themselves. None of them are truly happy. Yeah, they've got everything they need. They've got money and everything, but they're never happy. They have to have like lawyers and everything. Like, I mean, that's not. I mean, I have like my legal team, but I pay into, but I don't use them for those reasons. I always say, the more money you have, you'll never have a peaceful life. If you show off your fame and fortune, you will never ever have a peaceful life. You will always be looking over your shoulder. You will always need prenups. You'll always have to be worried about gold diggers. Well, what do you think you're going to attract? Gold diggers come in male and female form these days. So what do you think you're going to attract? They don't love you for you. They love you for your money. And you don't love you. Because you wouldn't, if you truly loved you could be a billionaire and have absolute self-love, but you're not going to go anywhere near gold diggers because your mindset's different. You're not going to want to be around those sort of people but those billionaires and millionaires, you wouldn't know, they don't promote I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these show-offs, the fakes and stuff and the pretentious. Because they're truly successful and rich. you wouldn't know. They wear nice clothes and everything. They just don't show it off. They don't show off. They're still, but they tend to be the ones that worked. Like, they earned their money and they know how hard it was to get it. And now they've got to maintain it to keep it. So, oh my God, I don't know where this whole energy is taking me. It's taking me in so many different directions. But it all comes sort of down to the same thing, really. It's like you can have it all and then go in this area and get all the hot sex and everything you want and the lifestyle and all of the flashy stuff, but you will never ever live a peaceful life. You will never be happy, truly, because you're surrounded by thieves and fakes and, again, people that will lie about you and slander and probably like try and sue you and everything. You'll never have a peaceful life. So you're never going to be happy, are you? You're never going to trust anybody around you. How on earth could you trust anybody when you have all of that? These people are money hungry. Doesn't matter what level of money you're at. If you've got it and people know of it and you show it off, you're like a magnet to the low vibes, the worst types. But it's not something people don't, you do know that. People know that. Now, I guess maybe that's why I had to talk about why I measure my success differently. Because I only want a peaceful life. I'm a humble person anyway. A humble woman. But again, because there's a difference. Like I'm happy. I'm humble. I'm at peace, apart from the little idiots that I can deal with once in a while, but not because they're just jealous. I gotta just deal with them as they come along. But but regardless, that it's just jealous people. But my idea of success is not on a stage, on a flashing lights and fame and all that kind of crap. No. That is kind of repulsive to someone like me. I'm not clout hungry. I don't need any of that. I know what I need, and I have everything I need. And I've achieved everything I've achieved everything I have achieved. Everything I've set out to do, I've achieved it. That's what I mean. Like, and it's nothing to do with showing off. It's just when you work hard and you set goals for yourself, you're going to achieve them. But the problem is, if you're not willing to sell your soul or sleep your way if you're not going to sleep your way for success, like shag for success or sell your soul for it, it's going to take a hell of a lot longer to reap in that financial success that will eventually come. It's inevitable. It has to, because that's kind of the way the universe law of attraction works. But again, it's all hard work. It's all manifestation. It's all just because you're manifesting something, you still got to make it happen. You still got to do the work. So, but again, there's an easy way, and then there's the hard way. There's the easy route, and then there's the hard route. So, but those who are truly successful will probably be on the hard route anyway, and route. And when you sort of heal a little bit, or you change your life, or you grow up, right? You live differently. When you start to live a peaceful life and you're sort of away from all the drama, because all that's there is drama and toxic, everything that's it's really dark and dense, but it's toxic and violent, everything that's wrong. But when you get away from that, and I felt like when you escape it, I feel like a lot of people do want to escape it, but it's hard to escape because it's easy and seductive, and it's so easy to fall back into. But the moment you start living a slightly peaceful life and you understand what peace feels like, that's when you start to really get away from that completely. The moment you get a taste of peace and freedom from that sort of destructive lifestyle, because that affects addictions and everything. Like, so many addictions play a role in all of this too. So it's not just like one thing. But if you're so worried that you've got friends that slander you, you get rid of them immediately. They're not friends. They're literal enemies. I've got rid of those sort of people. I get rid of those people all the time. I get slandered all the time. It's like, okay, I get lied about all the time, but it's not going to make their lies true. I just get rid of them. And then obviously they have to create more lies because they're now offended and they're annoyed because they got rejected, right? That's abandonment issues. They've got to work on them. That's their work, not mine. So all sorts of little issues that they've got going on, but if they don't come corrected with me, if they're not correct, they're gone. I don't care. So I'll correct yourself. Work on yourself. Do the work. I had to. I still do. You never stop working on yourself. You never stop healing. You still got to keep working on oneself. So, but before I go, so yeah, you might need to take yourself away from that sort of thing. Numbers. Got some binary numbers. So these will be for somebody or some peoples, but again, this isn't really my sort of, I'm not really into numbers like this. It's not my sort of, my thing, but I cannot speak. I know I'm clogged up, but really. So I'm going to put these obviously into the video. So this is attached to the video, but I was seeing 0, 1. Okay. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. And these came in sort of different like levels too, so I don't know if that means something. And then the next row was 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. And then the third row was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that to me just is like binary, like that sort of language. But if I do it, like I say, if I do get numbers, I'm always going to bring out the numbers and stuff like that, because I feel like there's different messages in the intuitive intelligence sort of like, or video reports. I feel like there's different messages for different people. Is there anything, even like right down to this sort of biblical scriptures? I feel like we are at the end times though, and I feel like a lot of, and to be honest, showing me that, sort of telling me, to go to Timothy, chapter 3, that felt like people who truly are like follow the religious, biblical scriptures and stuff like this. They already know, they're sort of like, oh, it's almost like they're getting that confirmation that this is exactly what the sort of end times look like or feel like. But again, it may not be like literal ending. It could be, depending on what you believe in. If you truly follow the book of Revelations and what's coming, well, just think about Sodom and Gomorrah and how they were sort of wiped off the face of the earth, right? Well, there's a hell of a lot more of us today. So, how they've had to, over history and time, that they've had to sort of get rid of all this disgusting evil because it's evil. And evil is a choice. It's not a condition or a thing. It's a choice to be evil. And what you attract and again, the sort of religious side of it where you're dealing with demons and things like this, well, just because they're evil doesn't mean you have to. You choose to be. You choose to connect with those sort of things. So, if you're worshipping them. But even to reject them, you can reject those demons anytime you want to. You can pray for protection. There's so many different ways you can protect yourself from demons and evil, but you need to be high vibrational, because they don't really like the haters. They hate the light ones, of course. They hate the light warriors. They hate the light workers. Of course they do, right? Well, they're no different to human behavior, like the low vibes. They hate us too because we've evolved. we've ascended, we're constantly doing, we're on a different vibration, we're on a literal different sort of timeline and everything. So because they hate us, because they can't do what we do. They're just meant to just work on themselves. Too many people outside, people, okay, no, I can't speak. I hate this low vibrational energy. I can feel it. It just wants to just attack the throat chakra and everything. But they can change this behavior, and people can change that behavior anytime they want to. But you've got to do the work. Too many people out there today in society competing with each other. You should not be competing with anybody but yourself. That's the problem. That's what they don't want to deal with, is like, well, no, because I don't want to deal with it. Because if I compete with myself, I've got to do all the work. I've got to do all the healing and everything and the shadow work. I don't want to do that. It's hard work. So instead, oh, we'll just compete with that person instead. Yeah, okay. There's no good outcome from that. So, and that's just a losing battle. And then it's going to cause more self-destructive behaviors. So there you go. It's a vicious circle again, a repetitive vicious circle. But so yeah, even like, you seriously think like the low vibrational energies, the ether hate us, but so do the same ones in human form. They hate us too. Of course they do. Because we still got souls. We preserve our souls. We take care of our souls. We know how important it is. It's sad, really. This is the reality, But that's free will. Can't infringe on people's free will. And you have a right to live the life you want to. You can have a right to live the lifestyle you want to and everything. That's your free will to exercise it, absolutely. But there's just consequences, that's all. But yeah, I want to get away from this now. So I don't feel like there's anything more that's coming in from that either. It's just a weird one, like maybe it just needed to be spoken about again. Maybe it needed to be, some people needed to hear it, I think. Most people won't like to hear that. That's okay. Okay. So, other than that, take care. 2024 is it? 2024, and because I'm feeling like the pulling on the full moon energy that's coming in the next few days too. So I'm already feeling that. I have to put my protection barrier up, like really boost it. Because all the little witches and warlocks come out to play and all that crap. So, but 2024, it's a year. I feel like it's a year of karma. It's a cause and effect karma. It's that season, but it's going to be a somber year for people. Like, I don't know. It's going to be amazing for so many people, but it's going to be absolutely devastating for others too. And it's just a natural cycle of life, like, well, this is it. This is kind of what's coming back, what you've put out into the world, what you put out into the universe, what you've put out in, this is what you pretty much attracted, really. So, I mean, I'm not talking about sort of death and losing loved ones. That's just a part of life. But the karma of sort of cause and effect that you've created and put out there for you, for what your choices are, and that's coming back. So, but I've said this before. You can change your life anytime you want to. You can change your mindset, and by changing your life, you just have to change your mindset a little bit. But when you change your mindset, you can start again. You can live differently. There's never ever a wrong time to start doing the right thing either. If you've really screwed up and hurt people, make up for it, fix it. It's your responsibility. You did it. So find a way to fix it. Find a way to correct it. But it's never a wrong time to do the right thing ever. Absolutely not. Even if it's just for the sake of your soul. Do it, I say. But be careful what you're getting involved in. At least understand what you're getting involved in. If people are actively asking you to sell your soul, fame and fortune, ask them why do you need my soul? Where's it going? Right? Ask the common questions. Normal logical questions. Who needs it? Why? How much do you think it's worth? Where's it going? Who's actually who's taking it? Right? Weird. But that's it. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to close this out on, what time is it now? 9:05 p.m. So, close out 9:05 p.m. Yeah. So take care of yourselves. And I'm looking forward to going to 12 day because that's going to get, well, tap into 12 day. That feels more like an interdimensional staff meeting. It's cool. It should be a hell of a lot lighter energy as well because they're incredibly high vibrational energies there. So I'm looking forward to going there. I mean, take you guys with me while you watch, but should be some really interesting stuff coming from that dimension. Other than that, take care and I will see you all again very soon.